gorgeous afternoon, but really blustery. Can you hear me, Mother? Oh, let's get rid of these. I'm going to come and stand alongside you because of sound, but yeah, this is a job I've been meaning to get on with for the last few weeks, is to have a really good tidy up and sort out of the herb bed. In order to do that, there are things sitting on the herb bed that I want to move out onto the deck. There wasn't any room on the deck because the deck's been piled up with bricks that I use for weighing down the cardboard over the winter, so the bricks have been on the deck all summer. So I'm gradually moving those back out into the garden, so I can move stuff off. And yeah, this is me sort of getting ready to give up the garden in a way, because today, apart from giving it a tidy up, I'm also going to be planting a couple of things into the bed so they're here and can get away and be established by the time the next person takes over. But first of all, I need to go and dump this barrow full of bricks and slabs and bits and pieces, which is pretty good. It's a really windy day. I've brought more cardboard to cover one of my beds, so these bricks will weigh it down. They'll need it in this wind, and I just hope we can cope in terms of the sound. Actually, let me just back you up. I'm just going to back you up a few centimetres. Let me turn this around so I can see what you're seeing. Creaky, creaky. So you can sort of give you a proper, well, that's the deck. Messy. It's the herb bed. Messy. Sorry, I'm speaking with my glasses in my mouth. Yeah, you can see it's pretty messy. A bit of stuff all over the place. But I reckon it's doable in one session. So let's crack on. Let's start clearing things out of the bed. A couple of things on the deck too. I'm going to take a few bits up to the shed to tartify before I bring them back down here. Oh gosh, these have been drowning. We had pretty fierce storm on Sunday. It didn't last too long, a couple of hours or so, but my goodness, the rain came down. Oh, what I imagine monsoon rain to look like. Oh my goodness. These geraniums are more grass than geranium, but I shan't give up on them just yet. A bit of work needed. Okay, let's park the barrow out of the way. Oh, tight turn. Don't knock you lovelies over. Now, I never did get round to filling it with chamomile. Oh my goodness, can you hear me over the wind? We'll struggle on. And then there's now, I don't know if that's starting to show. Again, I'm going to have to come and talk next to you. Can you see up by the cold frame end? That's a load of self-seeded, is it borage or comfrey? I'm not sure, but it's too much. It's going to swamp out the lovage, the sweet cicely, etc., etc. So I'm now going to get stuck into weeding, and I'm also going to thin out a lot of that self-seeded stuff. And then once I've got a clearer blanket, clearer slate to draw on, as it were, I can get planting. Amazingly, oh, here comes another gust. Amazingly, some of the chive have flowered again. I don't know when to stop. The grass that's appeared this year is such a bane. It's so perfect if I was wanting a lawn, but I'm not. Honestly, it's like someone has come and scattered a packet of grass seeds across my plot. Never mind. This is going to take a while. I'm also going to have out some of the small, you probably can't see, little self-seeded verbena. Again, because otherwise it will just completely take over. That needs chopping. Trying to find my stepping stone. Yep. Ooh. Nearly fell over. It's going to take ages, and I also want to do around the cold frame. There's a few self-seeders there, and inside the cold frame. So I get on with this, and then we'll come back and do some planting. I'm hoping it'll be a bit more sheltered over here by the shed. That's the thing, when I check the forecast, I don't think I'm very good at checking the wind. Never mind. So, I'm going to just very quickly tidy up. Why is my chair singing? Tidy up the geraniums. My chair's come off its brick. Honestly, the ground's quite wet at the moment. It's a bit sponge-like. Yes, overwintering. Such a scrag end. Is it worth it? I might just cut it back to there. Let me shoot again. I don't know whether they'll over... I'm going to try again. I've got those ones at home. Oh, are you kidding me? Now I'm going to have building work as well as wind. I've got those... Oh, I just don't think it's worth it. Look, this is more grass than geranium. I'm going to have a think. Because the thing is, I've got 4 parent plants at home that I take cuttings from every year. And they just stay at home on the kitchen window. But after years and years and years of having cuttings taken from them, they too look pretty scratty and ugly. I mean, they're serviceable. They serve a job. They give me all these cuttings for the garden every year. If I had a lean-to at home, I'd put them out there rather than have to look at them every day. And I was... Oh, here comes the wind again. I was looking at them on the kitchen windowsill the other day because by December, I'm hoping in December to empty the kitchen completely in order to get in there to decorate. And I was looking at them thinking, maybe it's time to just compost them. I mean, for instance, when I come to pack up the flat, do I really want to have to pack? That's going to be a whole nother box just for scrappy plants. Every box that goes into the van is going to cost. So maybe I'll just ditch them and start again when I've moved and I'm settled. Because you know what? Everyone said to me that growing I say geraniums, we all know I mean pelargoniums. Everyone said to me that starting pelargoniums from seed is really hard, really difficult, and I did it. I'm looking now though, because I adore this white one. Maybe I'll take this one home, cut it, prune it back quite a bit to help get some shoots from the bottom, and maybe just keep the white one. Right, the reason I'm kind of grabbing all these is they're in the wheelbarrow at the moment, and I want to empty the wheelbarrow because, let's lift this up. This is the marjoram. You see it's all the old flower stalks that I want to snip it all right back. My Felco secateurs are at home. I took them home to sharpen them the other day. Haven't done it yet. These aren't quite as good, not as sharp. Yes, I want to just clip out all of these old flower stalks. I pretty much consigned myself to giving the marjoram to the bees a few years ago. They love it. As you can see, the flower stalks, I don't know how much you can see today in this light. You know, they're maybe 15-20 centimetres long, but otherwise it's a really low growing little plant and it sort of creeps out sideways. So I'm going to plant this today. I'm going to actually plant it into the herb bed instead of having it in a pot. So it's all part of this sort of getting ready to move. I'm not going to move this, I'm going to plant it. But also, because it's in a pot, that means that every summer, when it's dry, I'm having to water it. Whereas if it's in the ground, you know, the ground retains a bit more moisture than a pot. So I'm going to get it all trimmed back, and then it's quite heavy to lift. I wonder if you can see. Can you see? Oh, roots out of the bottom. That's what I want the wheelbarrow for. Tip it out into the wheelbarrow, and I'm just going to trim back some of the roots so that I'm not. It'll be okay. They're pretty tough little plants, so I'm not digging a hole quite so deep. So that's trimmed its. Oh, and there's a bit of. I've just spotted a bit of grass has landed in there. So have that grass out now. Oh, missed a bit more. Yeah, I'll finish emptying the wheelbarrow, tip this out, and then let's go and find the spot to plant it. And then I'm going to plant the sedum too. Yay! It's nice to plant stuff, isn't it? It's a blustery, but it's a beautiful day. Crikey! Oh, that ground's a bit tougher than I expected. What's that from? Oh, it's not quite level. Taking it out of the pot, it feels really dry, really dry. I'm wondering whether to give it a drop of water out to help settle it in a bit. No, am I doing the wrong shape maybe? I'll get there. Okay, third time's a charm. Yeah. Oh. I've trampled some of the chives in the process, but they'll bounce back. Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a drop of water. Next, I want to put in here the sedum. The pink sedum, because the white sedum just won't grow for me. It just gets eaten by something each time. I think there are a few wood chips right on the far side of the site. I think there's a few left, so I might go and get some more just to top dress the bed. It just all helps to make it look a bit tidier, doesn't it? Right, I haven't actually got the sedum out of the pot yet. Let me get that done. Bit of a fan. Good. And both a drop of water. It's left me with a bit of spare soil, so I'm just going to nick that from there and put it on one of the veggie beds. Good. Oh yeah, water. It felt like a very long way to the chip heap today. Oh. All these pebbles at the front, they need to be moved because under here there are bulbs. Oh, I'm getting columns here. My legs are getting tired. I've got a whole barrow full. It's a little bit easier to manage if I bring it over from the barrow, which is by the compost bin. Just bring it by the trunk full. Oh la la. Goody, goody, goody. Right. I'll show you when it's all done. a few back. Oh. Now. Oh, la, la. That's the next job. So, coupled up. That's for the job after. Oh, it's been such a blustery day. I kind of love it though, it's really invigorating. I was just talking to one of my neighbours and he was saying exactly the same. Right. Might just snip. This was some spare beans. Oh, these are too blunt to snip them. I'm going to dump them in the trunk for now and take them to the shed, find another pair of secateurs. Yeah, it was some spare beans and I didn't have anywhere to put them. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to bung them in here. It's a bit of green for the summer, if nothing else. Well, actually, I did get a few beans from them, but now what I want to do, oopla, lay that down. They're in one of my grow bags. When I say grow bag, I don't mean like the plastic bags you get for tomatoes. Hey, lovely! Don't blow away! It's got... Oh, cloth, like... Gosh, I hope you're all okay. I hope no one banged their head just then. Oh my goodness, I might have to revise my plans for filming. Anyway, what I was trying to say is, when I was mentioning a grow bag, I didn't mean the plastic ones you get with like a compost in them for tomatoes. I mean these ones, it's like a sort of a thick felt, but you can see where I left it out last winter, it didn't really like it. So also in there, let's pop it there for a minute, it was a combination of, in here, this was a combination of sort of topsoil and compost. So what I thought I'd do, because obviously that compost is well and truly spent. Someone was asking me about that the other day, so I'll mention it now. She was confused when she'd heard in the past people talking about spent compost, what it meant. It just means compost, for instance, in a pot, a trough. It's compost that's had plants in it already for the season. And so over the course of that season, the nutrients from that compost will have been depleted considerably, if not completely. So it's spent. However, in terms of, you know, using it as a mulch or even adding it to your soil to help, because there's plenty of organic matter in there still, just in terms of helping to break up a heavy soil, it's great. So yeah, if it's the end of the season and you're emptying your pots, that spent compost can be used as a mulch rather than trying to grow a follow-on crop in the same compost, because it will be really depleted by then. Right, I think I've just thought of where to put this. Yeah, on one of the cabbage beds. This next job may be a bit tricky. I've got that lovely rose carting from Paul, from Richard and Paul's garden at home, popped in the back there. I didn't do much last year. This year it's rumped away, but it's trying to grow that way. It's a climbing rose. I want it to come this way, so I'm going to see if I can persuade it and do a little bit of tying in. It should, after a while, find its own way round and to hold on. But yeah, let's see if I can do it without making it grumpy. Because at the moment it's kind of down the back of the fence. and without me massively pricking myself. Right, you're in the way. Oh. Oh, it is an extremely prickly one. So, it seems to want to go that way. Ouch. Ouch, ouch. Give it a twist around there. I'm just looking to see if there are any more shoots coming up. I haven't been able to look until now because of the rhubarb. Another little one there. Okay. And there's a honeysuckle as well. It's not quite to the top of the fence yet, so I can't tie it in. But I think, oh la la, you know, that rhubarb has been going bonkers all summer, and I can see there's still like huge bulbous new shoots coming. I think I will give it one little tie-in. Like I said, it should be able to sort of find its own way and cling on. It doesn't have tendrils. Scared of you going flying again. I don't want any of you to sue me for banging your head as you fell over. Yeah, it doesn't have tendrils like we see on our squash plants. But somehow, yeah, it just finds a way to cling on. But just for now, and also considering how windy it is, got visions of me coming back tomorrow and the wind has blown it right back to where it was a couple of seconds ago. Yay! So it's lovely actually. It's a little pinkish rose, quite a small one. And this year, I didn't notice it on this. It may have done behind the rhubarb. I'll certainly notice next year. But the other two cuttings that I've got in pots still, which I'm going to move to my new home, they all had the tiniest little wee buds on them this year. They were gorgeous. And then if you remember, I've got one in the trough outside the shed, along with another of the honeysuckle cuttings. Thought the honeysuckle had died. It's amazingly coming back to life. So that whole trough, I'm not going to take the whole trough with, I'm going to take the trough when I move, but I don't want to take it full of dirt. And a very prickly plant that'll be waving everywhere. So I found a spot on the site, one of our communal areas, that I'm going to plant it. I was thinking about doing it today, but I tell you what, there's been quite a lot of humping and pumping, and I know you haven't seen it on camera, but you know, the wood chip pile and moving compost around the garden. My knees have said no to carting it over to the gate, but we'll do that another day together, hopefully. But yeah, I'm glad about that. Little jobs, just little jobs done. It's all part of the tidy up, and it just all looks sort of, I don't know, it somehow looks more alive once it's had a bit of a tidy up. Let me show you the herb bed after the work this afternoon. Yay, that looks considerably tidier and fresher, doesn't it? Gosh, it had really been taken over at the far end by borage, self-seeded borage. Oh, happy days, and just enough wood chip. I might need a bit more for the other side, but enough for now. So that's the marjoram in, and I did give it a bit of a soaking just as an introduction to its new home. It's got a ton of wood chips have fallen on it, it won't mind. That's the sedum in, and the little white one I decided to rescue. I'll give it another chance. Oh, sunshine. Hang on, let me take a step. The wee little white one, I'm going to give it a chance. Bless it, bless it. Oh, I can see Clint now as well. My herb garden guard. Yeah, it was completely swamped out. So all weeded out, a few weeds from there. I'm really glad to get this rose turned around, so it's, I don't know how well you could see from the longer shot, but coming along this way. Oh, last of the leaves are coming off the blueberries. I've kept these 5 pelargoniums for now. The white one's up at the shed for me to take home. I think the one in the terracotta is a white as well. That might have to come home for now. But yeah, I'm pleased with that today. It's always, and of course, a bit of a tidy up on the deck. All the stones and rocks have gone into the garden now to be used. Not the pebbles, I mean bricks and slabby bits. They've all gone into the rest of the garden now to be used to weigh down cardboard for the winter. But yeah, I think that's quite a happy sight, considering where are we? We're just about to go into November. Oh, lovely. You won't believe how well these calendula are still doing. Absolutely bonkers. Absolutely. Oh, I want to show you something exciting that I spotted when I arrived today. So I was talking about, I've been emptying, bits of spent compost from some of the pots were in there, and in here, this was all that was in the grow bag. But so the other day, in actual real time, in my real time, it was a week ago. But look, oh my goodness, come this way. Do you see? Do you see? The garlic are all up already. I can't believe it. I mean, it really has been unseasonably warm. Apparently we've been about 3 to 4 degrees above average so far. I mean, it's great, we don't have to put our heating on yet. I mean, in the mornings it's pretty chilly, but yeah, these couple didn't quite make it into the nets. But oh my goodness, and I can see through the nets that they're up as well. Because they're up, I might not do this today, but because they're up, I might take the nets off. Is it a bit soon? Will the cats and foxes go? No sign, of course, of broad beans up. I would not expect to see them up yet. But delighted to see the garlic up. Oh, and that's a bale of straw. What are you doing with a bale of straw, Vivi? That bale of straw is going to be broken up, and I'm going to use it to mulch the brassicas in there so that I can get those nets off, because they're already almost too small. Oh, what a good session. Right, I think I need a cup of tea. I don't need a cup of tea. I never drink tea. I need to sit down. That's what I need. And I need to go and I've got cardboard in the granny trolley, because I'm still in the process of covering all my beds. That looks quite inviting for a sit down, doesn't it? A sit down and a hoe down. Right, for now, you won't have seen this either. When I was clearing some of the beds, one of the beds, look, teeny tiny, weeny little squash harvest. Is that the smallest squash harvest, ever? But look, small but perfectly formed. And on that note, I'm going to have a sit down, catch my breath, fill the granny trolley with goodies that are still in the shed, get myself home and get cooking. So, until the next one, cheerio everyone.